You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Oh, hi. I'm Dalby from the Brock and Dalby Show, and welcome to a bonus Saturday podcast. I think we're going to start doing more of these bonus weekend podcasts with some of the stuff that we did not have time to fit into the weekday podcast. See, from Monday to Friday, the daily podcast, we try to keep it to as close to 30 minutes as we can, and sometimes that means that good stuff from the show doesn't make it into the podcast. So here on Saturday, we can take some of those clips that you didn't get a chance to hear from the weekday shows and combine them with some of our every week segments that we never put into the podcast. That being Would You Rather Wednesday, Text Us Thursday, and Text Us Tuesday, where you guys get to text in any kind of questions or comments or whatever you want. It's a free-for-all every Tuesday and Thursday at about 8:40. So let's start off with one of my favorite bits from earlier in the week. I'll let Brock and I tell you about it.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It was a huge day in the world of professional baseball yesterday when categorically the worst umpire of all time announced his retirement, a fellow by the name of Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know who this guy is, just go on YouTube and look up Angel Hernandez. There's compilations. This guy made the worst calls in baseball history.
And only got worse as technology got better, because then technology really let us see, like, how badly he was calling balls and strikes, and instant replay would immediately prove him wrong, and all these
even
things.
if you don't care about baseball, it's hilarious at the idea that he is notoriously known for being the worst umpire. Like, players, coaches hate him all across the league.
That's right. Like, people would literally take fines knowing they were going to have to pay just so they could say, man, that guy sucked.
And I think that honestly goes for any sport. I remember even as a kid playing minor hockey, there's certain towns that you go into and you see the ref and you're like, oh,
not this guy.
He's got my number.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But I mean, I think with that, like, maybe there's like some small town bias. Maybe you just felt picked on by this one person. But Angel Hernandez was universally hated. No matter what ball team you cheered for, or if you were a passing or a super fan, everybody agreed that this guy sucked. Mm-hmm. And it just makes me think of, like, some people I've worked with in my life who, like, the entire office could get together, be having drinks, and someone will be like, man, but what about Joe?
Yeah.
That guy sucks, right?
I think in every work environment, there's always at least like one guy or gal that everyone unanimously hates.
Yeah.
And it's the classic thing. Like, if you don't know who that is,
there's a good chance
it's probably you. Yeah.
And imagine the idea, too, of, like, for Angel Hernandez, the internet and the sports world as a whole is openly celebrating his retirement. Like, at least when you work in, like, an office job and you're that guy, you're the Angel Hernandez of your sales department or whatever. When you step down, at least people celebrate quietly.
Yeah.
Imagine walking into the office one day and being like, well, you know, guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I've put aside a little nest egg. I think
Thank God.
Like, sorry, excuse me, what did you just say?
Yeah.
I said, good, get out of here. You suck.
It's a tough gig to have, because even if you are like the best umpire in the world,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's really gonna ever give you your flower. It's like being a parking enforcement officer, you know?
True.
Right? Like, nobody likes parking enforcement people.
At the end of the day, even if you are the best at your job, the best in your field.
Even if you're just a nice human being in general,
Yeah.
like you're a cool guy or gal outside of work,
Yeah.
you suck.
Nobody is going home and being like, I met the best parking enforcement agent today. Just a delightful human being.
Yeah, it's like referees, parking enforcement, and clowns are professions that just get like unwarranted hate at all times, you know?
It's just, yeah, if someone's telling you a story about one of those three things, it's not because they had a great experience. Even from the circus, like you said with clowns, which is a great example. No one's ever come back from the circus and someone's like, how was it? Oh my God, the clowns were great.
And bouncers too, actually. Bouncers can be added in there.
That's
it's
true.
very rare that you hear someone and they're like, you know what, I went to this bar and the bouncers were just phenomenal. It's always like, oh, they're dicks. They're rude.
Wouldn't let me in, was letting all the chicks pass me in the line.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever like, He took my ID. He was so gentle about it. He asked me a few questions. He had a really nice voice.
Being a bouncer is such an unrewarding job. Like,
Right.
You don't get anything out of it at the end of the day, unless maybe you like shoving people around. But
Yeah, at the end of the day, the people you let in have forgotten about you the minute they stepped in the club, and the people you kept out will tell everybody that you suck for the rest of their lives.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Hi, you guys talking about jobs that people apparently really hate?
yeah. What's it for you?
Well, it's not really on my part, but I've seen it on my side of things. Appliance repair techs. You hate them if they even do a good job, but they tell you off for the simplest of things. Apparently, that's enough to hate somebody for it.
Oh, you know what? It's true. If something in my house breaks and I have to get someone to come in and fix it, I'm expecting them to come in, get the job done, head out on their way for a nominal fee. If they come in and they're slow or lazy, or even if they're just like not doing the work the way I think they should,
or they tell you that it's not covered under warranty.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm immediately like, this guy sucks. And that's not necessarily fair.
Yeah.
I think that's like anybody that works at a call center too. Like even if you call for like tech support and they don't give you what you need, you instantly hate them.
That's right. And they didn't cause your problem. They're doing the best that they can, assumably, to fix your problem. But if it's not done exactly the way you want, you're just like, son of a...
Exactly, since I am a guy who works at a call center, I get it.
Yeah, there you go. You know what's up.
You're enemy number one.
Well, hey.
All right, have a good day, guys.
Let us end this call in a way you're not used to. I hope you have a great day.
You too. Have a good one.
Yeah, it's funny because we always forget that they're just like people on the other end of the phone trying to do their job.
They're just trying to get through the day as well as anybody else, but they just become such an easy target for your frustrations.
Yeah.
Another one that someone texted in, I think is really good. They said the Walmart greeter. Or
people hate the Walmart greeter?
Well, but here's the thing, right? Because now they've also got them checking your receipts on the way out sometimes. So when you come in, they go, hey, welcome to Walmart, have a great day or whatever. You probably breeze right by them. In this day and age, most people don't even recognize them. So at best case scenario, the Walmart greeter, you never think about. But if they try to ask for your receipt and you're having a bad day, like, what are you saying? I stole my groceries?
True, I never thought about it like that.
You immediately hate this person who is just doing their job. At best, no one's ever walked out of Walmart and been like, that's the best Walmart greeter in the game. That guy or gal has it locked down in there.
A few people texting in about flaggers on like construction sites. Yeah, I mean, like it's not their fault. Like they're stopping the flow of traffic, but you just like you sit there and you're like, come on, man.
I'm telling you right now, every single time I've ever pulled up to like lane control and the sign is switched from slow to stop and me at the front of the line, I take that personal.
Yeah.
You couldn't let one more car go?
Well, it's like Service Ontario employees, man. Like you sit there and you're like, come on, dude. Like I was here before this person.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like,
I'm taking this personally.
Like, well, why didn't you tell me I had to bring my passport before?
Why didn't you, a complete stranger who has no idea what I'm here for, tell me more about what I needed to do before I got here?
Like you let people at Service Ontario feel like they're the problem.
Yeah.
It's really just you.
But
like,
you have a thing that you need to do. You didn't prepare appropriately. You came at a busy time with everybody else, and you have the audacity to sit there and be like, this person I've never met before who's not making a ton of money, that's their problem.
Yeah.
That's their fault.
There's also times that I feel like people that work at Service Ontario have like a weird kink though. And they get off on it or
You think
something.
they're into it a little bit.
That's how I feel at least. But
you know what? You do. I think you got to be a certain way because you knew, right? Nobody got a job at Service Ontario thinking it was going to be sunshine and rainbows.
I like to imagine they have like a scoreboard in the back of how many people they pissed off during the day.
Do you think
got to fill their quotas?
You get different points based on the cuss word someone used at you? Like obviously, if it's like an F or a C, that's maximum points.
Sure.
If it's just a B, you're like, it's 1 point. It's on the board.
That's why they give you a number. That's how they keep track of you.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This week on Texas Tuesday, we talked about binge banning all food from all offices. We tried to figure out what is the most patriotic Canadian song, and I got called out for what's in my wallet, all because you guys texted in.
A message to anyone who's been doing this no mo May stuff. I care about the bees as much as the next guy. Stop lying to yourself.
I don't think you do.
You guys are just doing it because you don't want to cut your grass. Just cut your grass.
I don't think you care about the bee. I think, in fact, you hate the bees.
You're dropping the property value down of every house, honestly. Someone said, I hate to start a debate here, but Hulk Hogan's Real American is way more of a patriotic song than Born in the USA.
Accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to bring up Real American before because we're spotlighting this weekend the 40th anniversary for Bruce Springsteen and for the album. And the focus should be on Born in the USA. But if we're talking about what's the greatest American song of all time, it's obviously Real American.
Yeah, that'll make you want to put your head through a wall, honestly.
I'll make you want to fight for the rights of every man.
Honestly. Someone just texted in, what is the most patriotic Canadian song of all time? Is it Stompin' Tom and Hockey Song?
Buddy, that's the first song that came to my head.
Yeah.
And it feels like that shouldn't be the answer.
Spirit of the West? What is
Home
that?
for Arrest?
Home for Arrest?
I mean, I'm okay with it being like a great Big C song, but I don't know which one it would be.
Yeah. Kim Mitchell, Patio Lanterns.
Patio Lanterns. Go for a Soda.
Go for a Soda.
Is Go for a Soda patriotic?
To some.
I mean,
to
nobody
some,
hurts, right?
To some, right?
Am I wrong, this text says, in saying that it should be illegal to heat fish in a workplace microwave?
No, you're totally right on that.
The thing is, though, is you either have to wholesale ban fish from the office or else people are just gonna do it.
I think we just got to get rid of microwaves in the workplace.
Honestly, that's not the worst idea. But then do people start bringing in like little portable stoves and stuff like that? Those little propane camping things?
I think there should be a rule that you shouldn't be able to eat in the office. I know that's very controversial.
A little bit.
But if you got rid of like the workplace fridge and the workplace microwave,
every workplace would immediately become more sanitary.
Yeah, and there'd be a lot less arguments.
You know, the thing is, though, is I feel like workplace fridge, workplace microwave, workplace cafeteria, all that stuff was put in by corporate to get people to not leave for lunch so they could get back to work sooner.
Damn.
So if the idea
Didn't think
is
about that, actually.
we reclaim our lunchtime by leaving the office and going somewhere, not only does the office become less stinky, but we stick it to the man.
I never thought about that. That's an interesting theory.
I think we should start taking a lunch break in the middle of the show. Like about 7:30, we just go away for half an hour, come back.
I think we should have a cooler.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what's in it. I brought it to work. You can't look in it.
That's
all right.
Yeah. It's my personal property.
Someone said, how much money do you currently have on you right now? None. I never have cash on me.
Hang on.
You got cash?
Is my wallet
you guys always forget Dalby's rich.
I'm not rich, but I keep
very rich. How much money you got on you right now?
Oh, that's
you got $100 bill. You got I'm not rich. And he pulls out $100 bill. What do you got? You got like $300 in there.
That's okay. It's $140. And I usually only keep the 40. I actually don't know where that 100
It's
came
all
from.
black credit card in there too. Oh my
That's
god.
my Costco card.
Sure.
That's not a credit card at all. That's where all my money goes.
Just remember, guys. I'm more equal with you guys than the other half of this show.
Listen here, you bee hater.
Don't try and turn this around on me, Moneybag.
Hey, if we're making stuff up, you hate bees and I'm rich. All
if
right,
you love
sure.
bees so much, donate $100 to a bee cause right now.
I got a bee tattoo. I think I'm covered.
Yeah, all right.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast. Would you rather? Wednesday. Would you rather Wednesday?
All right, let's get weird. There is a theme coming in on the text line here this morning.
These questions are out of pocket and inappropriate and disrespectful.
You know, it's funny you were saying when I wasn't here last week, you were trying to give it from my perspective. These are all directed at you, to be honest. Hey, Dalby, would you rather stop traffic to help a turtle cross the road or pick up an old person's dirty snot rag that they dropped?
Well, I mean, obviously, I would rather help a turtle across the road than pick up anybody's snot rag. That's disgusting.
What if they need it?
What do you mean, what if they need it?
What if it's like a lucky hanky or something?
Then they shouldn't have dropped it. I'm not picking up your booger rag.
So you wouldn't pick up after an old person?
That's not what the question is saying. The question is very specifically saying, would I pick up an old person's snot rag? And the answer is no, never.
Well,
would you? You answer the question. Which one would you do? You have to pick one. It's would you rather, not lie to the audience Wednesday.
Well, the turtle probably will make its way across the road eventually. I'd pick up the...
You would pick up a snot rag and let the turtle just play lottery road cross. But I'm the one that hates turtles. That's what we're hearing here
I didn't
today.
say I'd destroy him or anything.
Just leave him to die.
Someone said, hey, Dalby, would you rather help the turtle across the road or help an old lady across the road?
I would rather help the old lady across the road. Humans obviously take precedence over animals. Am I wrong? Look me in the eye. Tell me you're helping the turtle. You're leaving the old lady at the corner. You're helping the turtle across the busy road. No. Answer the question.
I would help the old lady too, but
you can't do both.
I would never say that a human life is worth more than an animal's. That's sickening that you'd say something like that.
Oh, you've gone vegan, have you? Every time you go to the grocery store, you say that.
Hey, this doesn't always have to be an argument.
Oh, it is today. You made it that way.
It's not my fault you are the way you are, right?
You know what? It honestly is becoming that way. It is becoming your fault.
All right, let's change the topic since someone's getting fired up over here. Would you rather have a longer career from Chris Farley or Heath Ledger? Dark question, but I think I gotta go Farley on that.
I will say I liked, obviously, Heath Ledger as the Joker. I thought he was great in that. He was great in Knight's Tale. Even that, what was that, 10 Things I Hate About You?
I was gonna say I couldn't list another movie, but yeah, 10 Things, yeah.
He was doing some really great stuff, but if I look back on my childhood...
It's Farley.
Yeah. I think Heath Ledger could have done more in his career than... Because Farley had a set routine.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I would have loved to see more Farley.
Also, wish we could have seen that Shrek version. Apparently, he recorded all of Shrek.
Pretty much,
and
yeah.
Then
and
Mike Myers had to redo it.
They had to redo it. So obviously would have been a completely what does that whole thing look like in the world if that's the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, Farley for me.
Would you rather never wear underwear or never wear socks?
I don't like things touching my feet, so I would go commando.
I've admitted this before. I go commando a lot on the regular, so take the underwear away, honestly.
I would just, I wear socks in my own home on the weekends. I just don't like stuff touching my feet. And so, socks all day. I have to wear them.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And if you don't wear socks, your shoes become like that.
Stinky.
Stinky, but also... They just feel permanently sweaty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're damp. Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap up with this one here. Would you rather have the exact amount of money in your pocket every time you wanted to buy something, or would you rather have a lump sum of, let's say, $10 million right away?
So wait, for the rest of my life when I need to buy something, I've got exactly that much money in my pocket?
Or just $10 million right now?
Well, obviously, I take I'll have as much money as I'll ever need.
That's what I was thinking.
Crazy.
That's an easy question, right?
I hate carrying money around, so I guess maybe there is if I'm going to buy a house and I suddenly have to carry $500,000 in my pocket. Yeah, that's inconvenient. But having free money, you never have to work again.
That's inconvenient, but it's also a baller move.
Right, you'd never have to work again. You'd be the coolest. But plus,
how much is the down payment for this house?
I got that.
Yeah,
I got that. Yeah, and you're not even at risk for being robbed because I only have the money I need on me at the moment. So if you rob me, my pockets is empty.
Yeah.
Take my wallet.
I've always just wanted to make it rain. I've never had enough money to ever make it rain before.
Do you think that this curse/blessing would allow you to just be like, I need to make it rain, and would just make a bunch of ones appear in your pocket?
Go to the strip club and find out what happens, dude. You need the money. It'll magically appear, allegedly.
Is that a need? Can you go to the strip clubs? Would you not get the money? I have questions now.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
One of our favorite things to do on the show is to try and take celebrities and come up with brands that would represent them well. And when we discovered that John Bon Jovi had a line of pasta sauces, well, we had to put the gears to work. I was watching a YouTube video about chefs using what they call pretentious ingredients, things that cost a lot of money. And it was then that I discovered, did you know that our good friend John Bon Jovi has a line of pasta sauces?
Oh, really? What's it called?
Bon Jovi.
No, it's not.
100%.
Is it really?
BonGiovi.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Oh, I love that so much.
Now, to his credit, it does say John Bon Jovi, the way it's spelled on the records.
Bon
on the
Jovi
front.
sauce.
But if I walked up to you right now and was like, yo, you want some Bon Jovi sauce? You would look at me in a funny way.
Yeah.
I'm bummed out, though. It's like I looked. I think the nearest place I would have to drive to New York City to get me a jar of Bon Jovi.
It's premiums of just tomato sauce, Alfredo. What are we talking
He's got
here?
a whole line. He's got about 6 or 7 different varietals of sauce. Seems like he does have some, like if you go back into the Bon Jovi lineage.
Yeah.
There is some Italian roots, so he does come by the sauce, honestly. It does just feel like churching up the name a little bit.
Dude, I'd honestly, if I saw it at the grocery store, I'd buy it just to buy it for that reason.
I think you have to. If you find yourself, and if anybody's out there listening, and you find some Bon Jovi, feel free to get an extra jar for us.
It's like when Ryan Reynolds started selling that aviation gin, people bought it just because his name was attached to it, right?
Exactly. Or if you're into the gin and juice, the little canned drinks that Snoop Dogg is making now.
That's right,
Which,
yeah.
can't believe it took as long as it did for them to sell that.
He's
but
in the
still.
market for everything. He's selling cereal, snacks, everything, yeah.
I thought that we could maybe try and come up with some other food brands for musicians, because I think this is a huge untapped market. You look at pop musicians, they've really got a lot of the beauty products locked down. Same with actresses, actors. They've all got gym programs if they're big buff actors.
Is it weird that the first one that came to mind was James Hetfield Head Cheese? Het cheese?
Het cheese is an amazing brand
I don't know if
name.
there's a big market for het cheese, but that's where my head went very first, yeah.
Brother, if you are a little bit of a home baker, what if you got Styx brand Mr. Robot dough?
Ooh.
So that you don't have to proof your own dough. It's
I do
right out
like
the
that.
box. You're ready to make it.
Very easily, David Lee broth.
Ooh.
How has that not been done?
Get your soups on. And then, depending on the David Lee broth that you buy, you could add in some Stevie Ray prawns.
I like that. I like that. Maybe a little Fred Stardurst.
Oh.
They're like Starburst, but they're I guess the flavors would be hot dog or chocolate
chocolate starfish.
fish or hot dog flavored water, yeah.
This one tastes like hot dog water. Delicious. And that's perfect for a snack, but if you're looking for something a little healthier for a snack, what about John Fogerty's Yogurties? Little yogurt tubes?
That's actually amazing. That's actually so good. John Fogerty's Yogurties.
Imagine the commercial. He's just playing away, and all of a sudden he just pulls out a yogurt tube.
Slurping up a tube, yeah. Down on the corner, out in the street. Whoop.
You know, it's a band that doesn't have any merch that I can think of, or they're their own brand.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones have been around forever, but I don't know anything other than just buying T-shirts.
The tongue
and records.
logo, yeah.
What if they got into the barbecue game with a nice rub called Meat Spicin' Man?
Meat Spicin' Man?
Yeah, it's
oh,
like
Street Fighting Man. Oh, yeah, for sure.
100% dudes would wear aprons with the big lips that says Meat Spicin' Man while they're standing out doing ribs by the smoker.
I mean, I don't know why now I'm thinking about it now. Dave Mustaine remover, but it's like a mustard only stain remover.
Honestly, anything. Just imagine you're standing over the couch, you got a dog, the dog peed again, you're just like, honey, get me the Dave Mustaine remover.
Grab the Mustaine. 2 squirts of Mustaine and it's gone.
I've been saying that.
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
On the Thursday edition of Text Us, we got asked questions like, what is the best drink on a hot day? What would your last words be? And how fast have you dropped a job that you just got?
Someone said, what's something that makes you feel old? You guys keep running that ad that says 1994 is the 30th anniversary of a bunch of albums. Thank you for reminding me that I am 30.
I would have to say probably the thing that makes me feel the oldest is Brock.
Me?
Is you.
Me?
Whether it's your jokes or the thing is if you work with people who are significantly younger than you, we have about a 12-year gap.
Yeah.
It's when you reference something that was a key piece of your childhood, your adolescence, and they look at you and they go, I don't know what that is. They haven't heard that song, they haven't read that book, seen that movie, and you're just like, All right, well, I'll just be going down to take my heart medication.
Yeah. No, I know. I feel the same way. Like when I start talking to people that are like in their early 20s now, or even, dude, movies, like the fact that The Strangers got a reboot. Like that movie, I remember in the seventh grade going to the theater to go see The Strangers.
Right.
And that's one of my favorite scary movies of all time. And now they're rebooting the entire franchise as one of those things of being like, am I getting old now?
Yeah, this is too soon. This is too soon for them to take this thing I loved and make it again. There's supposed to be a window.
It feels so wrong, dude. What is the best summer drink of all time? It's got to be a glass bottle of Coke.
A glass bottle of Coke. Man, maybe I got a problem. I went right to the alcohols. You're right. A glass bottle of Coke in a hot summer day.
Don't get me wrong. I love me a Modelo, a Corona, maybe a Brava that is the beer of summer.
I think I'm just going to say lemonade. I think lemonade is it's something I don't think of.
Lemonade always makes me more thirsty.
Really?
Yeah, I always feel like it doesn't quench my thirst.
You're putting too much sugar in your lemonade.
I always feel like I drink lemonade and then I'm like, I need a water to
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, whether it's like a nice cool glass out of the fridge or the sort of thing where you're walking down the sidewalk and you see some kids rocking a lemonade stand. That's just summer, man. Just feels like a summer bevy.
What is the shortest you've lasted at your job? Someone texted in here and said, just started at a job yesterday and I quit this morning.
Wow. I think the shortest run I ever had was I worked as a shipper receiver at a parts place back in Hay River, and I lasted about 2 weeks, and they fired me because I was bad at the job and didn't like it. I hated it.
Yeah, 8 days. I worked at a brick factory, like a brick making factory, and we were just like assembly line.
Yeah.
And then it was like I was talking to dudes, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Those guys made me sad. I was 19, and I was just like, I'd never smoked so many cigarettes.
Just to try and get outside, to get a break. Yeah. No, I know that feeling.
Okay, we'll wrap up with this one here.
Okay.
What do you want your final words to be if you could choose?
Final
words.
Maybe it's just because of the bit at the end of the show. It would be great to be able to just be like, bye, everybody.
No, I think it would be great if you got your entire family around and as you're dying, you're like, come closer. Come closer. Find the map.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
And that's your bonus, your Saturday Brock and Dalby podcast with some of the best stuff that we could not fit into the weekday podcast. If you missed any of the shows throughout the week, we've got 5 fresh podcasts sitting right there in your queue. Go back and listen to all of them. This is episode 52 now. Hell of a run. We will be back on Monday with a brand new live show on the radio. And for those of you who only listen to the podcast, we will have another episode of the podcast for you on Monday. Till then, as Brock would say, keep it sexy.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.